Man, everybody ride with PBC though. Yeah, we gonna get this shit on tonight. I can do a whole show on this bullshit.
Debate with bait. Season 4. Let's go. Here we go. Debate with bait. Sports show. Season 4. Live at Mo City Radio. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We just giving opinions, supporting it with proof. Let's look at the stats, cause numbers tell the truth. It ain't no hating. We just debating, interviewing guests so we can learn how they operating. Shout out to PRIZEPICKS for the daily fantasy. Invest a few dollars, let's do some gambling. C-Bake got the topics and he keep it cracking. Laro got the commentary and he never lacking. Cole with the game, he live from the Big Apple. You know, most serious entertainment made it happen. Another sports show, we live from the Mo. Debate with Bake, season 4. Let's go.
Where is your toughness? Where have you guys been raised that you're so weak mentally that you just give up when something doesn't go right for you? Don't you know what adversity is all about? That's the game of life, not the game of basketball. You don't get down when things go wrong. You dig in and get tougher. Your whole life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal with it. Where is your toughness? Where have you guys been?
That's right. We got to open the show up with it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Where is your toughness at? Shout out to my man, Coach Rick Pitino, man. I love it, Rick. Not for this generation, but for all generations, including the Tankomaniacs. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Debate with Bait Podcast, brought to you by Mo Serious Entertainment at MoSerious.com. I am your host, Mr. Debate with Bait himself, a.k.a. C. Bake, a.k.a. Charles Baker, a.k.a. Eat Mr. Cole for lunch on these debates. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's happening? And we back in it. Ooh, we got a lot to talk about tonight, but unfortunately, Chuck told me I can't stay on one topic because I could talk about this one topic all night because I've been talking about this shit for years. But I'm going to let y'all have it tonight, but I ain't going to do what Chuck say. There's other topics you got to talk about, babe. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I want all the Tankomaniacs, as soon as I get my co-host on here and we talk to them, and we go to New York and we go to Third Ward and all that, I want all you Tankomaniacs to get in the chat. I want all you Tankomaniacs to make all your comments because I've been saying this for years and it finally came. It finally manifested. But before we get to the Tankomania, shout out to my man Chuck for holding us down, making it happen, man. To the rest of the Mo Serious family, we appreciate you, man. My former label mates, my colleagues, everybody, Dr. Candace Matthews, Dr. Jeremiah, a.k.a. Johnny Binder, everybody that's coming through, that's supporting MoSerious.com. We appreciate you, man. We checking you out. We giving you the thumbs up. And by the way, make sure you give us the thumbs up at Debate with Bait Podcast, DWB. Come on in, check us out. The Sports Center of Mo Serious Entertainment. So it's going down. Let's get to it. Let's go all the way to NY. One of the former Tankomaniacs, he's finally seeing the light. But what's up, Cole? All the way to NYC, man. What's going on out there in the boroughs, man?
Chilling, man. It's starting to get warm out here, so everyone's starting to get that spring fever. Plus, the Mets and Yankees about to come back. New York Knicks is trying to get their life back on track. But other than that, man, life is good, family good, everything good, work good. Loving life.
You got to love life when your city has two teams and you can go back and forth. Because now we'll be back with the Giants and then we'll swing to the Mets, as you said. And then when the Mets start losing, as they usually do, we go to the Yankees. But it's all good, Cole. That's the luxury of living in the largest city in the United States. You get to go back
to the Rangers. We go to Islanders too, man.
Exactly. Yeah, we just go with whoever winning. LA got the same problem, but we'll get there one day in Houston, man. But check it out. Speaking of Houston, speaking of H-Town, nobody more H-Town than my co-host sitting to the left of us, talking about my man Roach. What's going on with you, man?
Man, same thing, different day, man. You know how we do it, man. We back at it. Like you said, we got a lot to discuss.
Got a lot to discuss, man. Before we get into it, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe, man, and check us out on Mo Series. We cannot stress that enough, man. We need them likes and subscribes. All right, let's get into it. I didn't even sleep last night when I was thinking about DWB, baby, because I've been calling it for years. And luckily for all you tanker maniacs, I need you today. That's right. Your man, the so-called junior face of boxing, got a draw this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and y'all paid for the pay-per-view on PBC. Shout out to y'all if y'all paid for the pay-per-view, because you do need to support these boxers. You do not need to illegally stream, but however, I do understand in these times, and I do understand with the quality of the boxing product. But your man's Cole. Shout out to my man JT, Teasy, the Tanker Maniacs. That's right, Gervonta Tank Davis, Mr. Face of Boxing himself, as these two so-called proclaim, not Roe. Roe has always been with me, but blamed hair grease from his braids as the reason why he took a voluntary knee in the 9th round against 130-pound WBA champion Lamont Roach. They fought at 135 pounds, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for Tank's belt. And it turned out to be a draw, as the judges had to score 114, and then the other judge, three judges, the last judge had it 115 and 113 for Davis. But let's get to the clip, because I gotta ask all you tanker maniacs a question, and then we got to get into it. Chuck, kneel down, bro.
Whatever you
And we got the footage. First of all, let me first say this to both of y'all. I've never seen that shit before, ever, in boxing. I have never, ever. I've been watching boxing for years, decades almost. Ladies and gentlemen, Debate with Bait. I talk about boxing all the time here on Most Serious Entertainment. I've never seen that shit before in my whole life. Please, with these co-hosts, let's start with you, Cole, and Ro, you shaking your head. But I want to start with a former tanker maniac. First of all, Cole, did you watch the fight?
I did watch the last 4 rounds.
Okay, so you actually witnessed the kneel down, correct? Live.
Yes.
Okay. Take us through the sequence. What was going on in your mind when you saw that?
In my mind, I thought he got hit and he took the knee because he was hurt. But according to him, the only thing that was hurt was his eyes. So I guess the perm juice or whatever got into his eyes or something. I don't know. But I think what was bothering me most about the fight is I just felt like Tank lost.
He definitely lost.
Like, I just felt like he was dominated the whole entire, not the whole entire fight, but the majority of the fight. And when I'm watching it, when they're about to give the scorecard, and I saw that what's his name, Tank won the first one by 2 points, I was like, yo, this is just a setup. Because I guess I get it, though. When you're the champion, you have to outright beat the champion or the better boxer, or the most famous boxer. But to me, I just felt like, Tank lost the match, man.
And here's the thing. I could go with that philosophy in the sense that you have to go and take that man's belt. I'm not saying you got to get a knockdown. I'm not saying you got to get a knockout, but you do have to take his belt. You have to make it look. You have to make it look convincingly that you took this man's belt. I get it, and he is one of the faces of boxing. But the problem I had was it was number one. It was a close fight, Ro, and being that it was a close fight and he took a knee, I thought that should have been enough for him to win the fight. Now here's the thing.
And the timing.
Exactly. Exactly. Now here's the thing, and Ro, I'm gonna come to you. Like, the problem I have with the situation is, and it's according to what I've been hearing all day, all long, so don't quote me on this, but it's like, in that situation, according to the New York State Boxing Commission, the opponent who actually, the other Lamont Roach in this situation can actually appeal that. His corner can appeal that. And I was told that his corner did appeal that. Now that in that process, that appeal is supposed to go to another person who's supposed to send the tape to electronically, the footage, they're supposed to send to another judge. And they're supposed to look at it. Now, you're supposed to only have 3 minutes to do this. According to my source, it was 2 minutes left or something, almost 2 minutes left in the round. His corner did, meaning Roach, they did appeal that. But it never made it to the last source. Okay, now that could be a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to make it to the next.
Right. Now, Ro, you tell me what you saw or what you think, because I agree with Cole, and that's why I wanted Cole to say it first, because some people would consider me. I'm not a Tank Davis hater. It's just that Tank Davis doesn't give me the fights I want.
He would have retained the belt anyway. Like if it had been the same 3 scorecards, but flipped for Roach, that 115, 113. You know what I'm saying? He still would have retained the belt even then. Yeah, it'd have been a little more accurate had they went on and had one judge at least had Roach ahead. Because like you said, it was the timing of the knockdown. It was a lot of things about, I'm call it the knockdown. So I can say I didn't even think about it, the knee, whatever you want to call it. Because it's just like, you take it on the flip side, even if you want to swallow what he said about it, you know what I'm saying, about it being grease. I don't know. I'm a bald-headed nigga, so look, I can't even fathom these Deontay Wilder, Javante Davis stories about your outfit and your ring walk and all kind of ridiculous excuses. Sound like excuses to me, and this is not the game of excuses at all by any means. And you certainly chose eye burning or not. You know what I'm saying? Ali got famous clips, you know what I'm saying, when he couldn't see against Sonny Liston and shit like that. You got to fight through something like that. You can't take a voluntary knee unless you just boxing a clinic, yo. If he was boxing a clinic and he was that far ahead and legitimately had some kind of problem or something going with his eye, I could even see him strategically taking a knee, you know what I'm saying, to get it wiped out.
And you just made a great point, strategically.
Yeah.
I watched Artem fight Shakur, and Shakur was whooping. It was either Shakur or Frank. And Artem was Frank was put on. I think it was Frank. Frank was put on an onslaught of body punches, and Artem just could not get out of the way. So he strategically just sat down on the knee to regroup himself. Here's the problem I have with the Tank Davis knee. I'm okay with him taking that knockdown, taking that knee.
Yeah, but the score got to reflect that off top.
Well, not even that. I'm okay with you taking a knee because strategically, I get it. If I was to get in the ring and somebody was doing it, but you run over
to your corner.
You run to your corner.
So you can see. So
you can get your face wiped off.
And look, you could see. How the hell you see your way to your corner? Exactly. You was having trouble seeing, you ran right over there to the right spot.
And then your mans get up on your boy, whatever you want to call
on
it,
the
apron and wipes you down. Because that's what he basically did. He wiped you down.
That's an excuse. You know what I'm saying? He acted shocked. And the thing is, we have seen the last of Tank. I think you're right on with that. We've seen pretty much the last of Tank. Tank is going to retire in the near future.
I wish he would.
May get this one another burn, but it's going to be a decisive Roach victory, and he's going to bow out less than gracefully, I think, on a rematch, because the kid's head is clearly not in it. You know what I'm saying? Even down to before. He's just not at the top of his game, and I guess he's coming up on 30. He does have a lot of rings, but it kind of reminded me of once the Mystique left like a Tyson, you know what I'm saying? And it's like once you get on up there in rounds, and the fear and the mystique is gone. Once you ain't a Tank no more, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man.
And Cole, this is what I've been telling you and all the Tankomaniacs. When you go down that road, I'll give Tank this credit. He has said he's wanted to be a prize fighter. He wanted to be a pay-per-view star. He never said that he wanted to be undisputed or this big-time champion. We know Tank don't care about the belts. But I kept telling everybody, the road that he takes is, I'm going to fight the fighters that pretty much complement my style, make me look good. And that's come forward, flat-footed fighters. So when you come forward, and he's very strategic about it. I set a trap, and then I knock you out. That's how I knock out people, because he picks fighters that come forward. Ryan Garcia
was going on that because it was taking longer and longer for him to do that.
And because he fights those type of fighters, to your point, Ro, it's like I can take the first 6 rounds off because I can time you. And I kept telling JT, I kept telling Cole at one point, you can't continue to give up rounds when you get in there with somebody who can move, somebody who can box. If you give up rounds, that's why I always had Shakur beaten. I always had Shakur, because if you take 6 rounds off against Shakur, that's it. Because he's not gonna get knocked out.
He didn't box the clinic 6 rounds, and
exactly
he's 6-0 on you.
And when you live by that, when you live by the knockout, if you ever face somebody that it's some people that's just not gonna let you knock them out. Yeah. And credit to Lamar Roach, because here's the thing. Tank made the big mistake of underestimating him. Tank made the big mistake of, number one, you and this guy have been sparring for years. So he knows you. He's seen everything. But the biggest thing that I took away from Lamar Roach versus many of the other fighters that Tank fought is there was no fear factor.
Yeah.
He was never uncomfortable. He was never intimidated.
Well, he said that shit. Even at the weigh-in, it was like, you got your mama in here. I ain't gonna talk no shit.
Right.
It's only they like, talk your shit, Tank. And you're
right.
Like, I ain't gonna talk no shit. You're my Dukes here.
Right. Never intimidated. Never. And look what happened. And most of the boxing world, even the casual fans, like Cole is a casual fan. He's better than JT, but everybody thinks he lost. Everybody thinks it's the same thing. And everybody get mad at me because I'm talking about Haney. Has Haney ever took a knee to wipe his face off?
Just like Cole said, that was the most important 4 rounds of the fight. Them last 4, it was like, man, when you saw that going on, it's like, okay, even if it was a close fight, that was enough alone for Roach to have done, to have pulled ahead and pulled it out. Like to even take it from the champ, because he beat him. Hell, it was close, but he fucking beat him. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
and I wouldn't even have a problem if he didn't take the knee, Tank win the fight. Because like Cole said, you got to take the belt. It was a good match, but I don't think Roach did enough. I mean, I think he did enough to where it was a draw, and then the knockdown should have gave him the fight.
Right.
That's you see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's shame on the New York State Boxing Commission and on that ref, Steve Willis. And he's one of my favorite, but he got that wrong. He should have been counting. And it's like for Tank, my question to you is this, buddy. You replied to the ref like, hey, man, why are you counting? It's like, what you mean? Do you really think that somebody's gonna let you go wipe your face in the middle of a boxing match? Take a knee and go wipe your face, and there was no repercussions for that?
Like I wouldn't have stopped Roach from stealing on you and your corner, man.
Exactly. You know like you could have done like Shakur. You could have ran around the ring.
Yeah.
So
you some time.
I just need all the Tankomaniacs and everybody quiet. I just need an explanation, man. This is the face of boxing behavior. I'm gonna go wipe my face in the middle of Hey, face of boxing. Have we ever seen Canelo do that? No. Have we ever seen?
Not yet. He about to, though.
Yeah, I knew the Tankomania couldn't be quiet for so. Say that again, Cole.
He about to against Crawford.
Oh, so you want him to?
Crawford gonna beat him.
Nah, don't try to change the subject. We talking about Tank. Don't you even try that. Stop trying to take the microscope off your man. No, neither one of them gonna do it. Crawford or Canelo, man. Stop that, man. We ain't talking about Crawford and Canelo. We talking about Javante, Tank, Face of Boxing Davis. That's what we talking about, Cole. Now you quiet. You know what, Chuck, man? I'm done. Let's do fantasy. I'm done. Ain't nobody got nothing else to say. Tank or Maniacs ain't got nothing else to say. Let's do fantasy, man. Ain't no comments now. Ain't nobody saying nothing. All these the Tankomania. Why anybody just can't say, hey man, I thought he won the fight. I thought he did enough to win the fight. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Man, let's go to fantasy, Chuck. Man, now everybody quiet. Ain't no debate now.
So look, shout out to Roach, man. That was a robbery.
Yeah. It was a robbery.
That was a robbery.
It was a robbery
because I'm sitting at my uncle crib and we watching the fight, and I'm like, because I'm a casual. He not a casual. He like you. He know everything about everybody, about when he schedules. That's him, right? And so I'm like, he say I couldn't even get the question out. He's like, nephew, that's supposed to be an 8 count.
That's a knockdown.
Nephew, that's supposed to be an 8 count.
8 count, automatic. Automatic. When you take a knee,
that's 8 count.
Yes.
And so I was like, so he said, I ain't never seen that before.
What I just opened up, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, he said, I ain't never seen that like that.
Like arguably, did it not touch? Did he just do the gesture to get the standing 8 count?
His knee touched.
He touched.
His
It
knee
touched,
and
clearly
his fist
touched. So he did a pause.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's a route. That's a route.
All right, so dig the shout out to PRIZEPICKS. Give us a chance to do a little bit of gambling. We're gonna focus on the NBA tonight. Look, 2 of my favorite teams, right? H-Town and OKC. You know what I'm saying? They playing each other in about, I think, at 7, so it's in a few minutes. So I want to fill out the whole parlay with 6 players. So let's do 3 Rockets and 3 Thunder.
Perfect.
Right? And so with that being said, let's see. That's what I want to do. We'll see what PRIZEPICKS give us.
All right, perfect.
So let's see here. What we got for
Face of Boxing, baby. You gonna start with the Rockets or the OKC? That's gonna be difficult, man, especially for OKC because they got.
So I searched the word Jalen, and so I got 2 Jalens, right? Jalen Green and Jalen Williams. Okay, so we'll start with the Jalens. Let's start with the home team first.
This is gonna be difficult, man. Let's see what you got, Chuck, because I mean we could be talking about triple doubles, we could be talking about threes. I mean, this is 2 of the best, not the best, but 2 of the best teams in the NBA. So this might be tough to gamble on, man. In other words, then it might be easy, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Rockets injury report.
Is Jabari Smith starting?
Yeah.
How's he been playing recently?
He's coming around. He ain't impressed me yet, but he's coming around.
Yeah, I think Jalen Williams for the OKC Thunder is higher or lower than 20 points for this game.
It's the Rockets, yo. I'll give him under. Y'all play good defense, yo.
Yeah. Oh.
I go under. Too. Under is good.
I guess under is the safe bet.
Yeah, because I mean, Shai gets you 30.
Yeah.
He'll chip in like maybe 15.
He kind of fills in wherever.
Right. He doesn't have to.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, he gonna slash a little bit, you know.
So for Jalen Green, PRIZEPICKS only give me 1 bet, and that's 9.5 rebounds and assists. So that's he could get 9 assists, he could get 9 boards, he could get 5 and 4, he can get 4 and 5, he can get 8 and 1. Do y'all think he gonna have more?
Oh, I do not like that. I like him on points and threes. Like I don't like him on that. That's why they taking that.
Yeah,
that's the setup. Yeah, I do not like.
But the thing is, for the game to be close at all, I think he's got to give you at least 9. He's the only one out there ain't banged up. Sengun banged up. Banged
but he don't crash like that though, bro. He don't crash. Some nights he give you assists, but it's mainly
give you no more than 5 or 6.
Exactly. It's mainly scoring and threes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they put that out there, because it's kind of like if you ain't paying attention to the game, somebody that's a casual fan will take that bet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
think it'll be a close game though.
oh yeah, it's gonna be a close game.
The Rockets, y'all ain't no slouches, yo. I respect the defense and what Coach Udoka be doing.
All right, so let me just take a slug at Prize Picks for only giving us that one Jalen Green points. Rebounds
That's
or assist bet.
wild. Yeah,
They ain't giving no Şengün, no Fred VanVleet, no Dylan Brooks.
Ooh.
None of that. So he's the only Rocket, and that's the only available bet that they had.
I'll give Şengün 20, and I'll give Chet Holmgren.
See,
15.
Prize Picks, another slug at y'all. This will make me rock with Sleeper. Sleeper is another betting app. I've been using that one, and I've been winning on that one. You know what I'm saying? And so, and they platform and user interface is much more friendlier. And so, Prize Picks, come on. But for the sake of today, let's grab us some picks from OKC, and then we'll keep it moving.
Yeah, because they ain't showing H-Town no love. That's the only thing they got for it. That's wild. Points and rebounds for Green.
You can put a 3-pointer for Caruso.
Caruso.
Say that again.
A 3-pointer for Caruso. He'll hit a 3.
It's Bald Eagle starting? Or he coming off the bench?
Is he?
He comes off.
He
the bench.
plays for him. He's coming off the bench.
I thought he's with Chicago.
Holmgren, I'll get 15 points.
You think Chet good for 15 points?
He's good for 15.
Yeah, I'll take
That's
that.
one reason why I think Jalen ain't gonna have 20.
Because Chet back, because he hadn't been playing.
And Hartstein, I'll give him 10 rebounds if you have him on there.
I don't know about that.
I can understand think Hartenstein gonna still get the minutes with Chet back?
That's why I don't
get
think
the minutes.
I don't think so.
Nah, he gonna get the minutes.
I wouldn't go 10 boards though.
What would you go? Would you go 7 boards?
I could do 7.
I'll do 7, but he gonna get
Not
10.
10. I know he's
So the
capable
bet
of
was
giving
for 7.
10. Yeah. I know he can get 10, but I just don't want to bet on that.
He'll give you the 3 assists too. No lie, he'll give you the 3 assists. I promise you that.
Hartenstein?
I'm a Knick fan. They run
I mean,
offense.
he played with us too. Good.
He's a good passer, yo. That
I
might
mean, that'll happen, but I just think is there other bets with other Thunder players?
I actually think that's a safer bet than Jalen. Less than 20.
3 assists from Hartenstein.
Man, y'all feel what y'all think Shea gonna do? You think he good for a 30 piece?
He's always good for a 30.
Exactly. That's why I said that. He's always good for a 30.
Yeah.
I mean, calling it, man. I'd call that man MVP last year. I thought he should have got it last year. I'm telling you, man, and you know why it'd be good for him to win the MVP? I'm gonna tell you why. Because he is a 15-foot wizard, and the game needs that. Young kids need to see guys making 15-footers. He can make threes and all that, but his bread and butter is like MJ. It's like a pull-up 15-foot from anywhere. Shout out to my man Shea, man.
I would go under with Klay Thompson.
You think so? I was just looking at that.
Yeah, I would go under. He's super sporadic.
Dallas?
You say Klay Thompson?
You say Klay Thompson?
I would go under.
Because I need one more pick from a different team to wrap out the parlay.
Okay.
And they only gave us one from the Rockets, so I got to pick somebody different. So I was kind of looking through.
Who you got? Klay Thompson?
Maxey. He go for 25.
Easy.
What's the score right now, though? Because if it's blowing him out, he ain't gonna play the whole game.
Too. That DeRozan, when you're looking at, is not.
Who's DeRozan them playing? San Antonio tonight?
They at Dallas.
Oh, that's the same game.
Yeah, and so you think
17
DeRozan
and a
good
half?
for 18 points?
Yeah,
DeRozan?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, all of those picks are good. Even Klay going under is good. I mean, what's the surest out of all of them? Because I mean, Klay
Maxey's the surest. Maxey get all the shots now.
He has to. Who they playing tonight? Philadelphia.
They're playing.
They at halftime.
Portland.
They at halftime with Portland, and he only got 5.
He'll get 15.
They in Portland?
They're in Philly.
They in Philly.
He
He'll
should
get 15 in the second half.
I'd stay away from it though.
I still would go with DeRozan or Klay.
All right, we'll keep it as is, man. Shout out to Prize Picks, man. Look, if y'all watching this right now or later, scan the QR code on the screen. Take advantage The picks, we just bet $5 on 6 different players with the chance to win 85. We'll tap in this week. Let y'all know how that works.
All right, appreciate you, Chuck. Shout out to Prize Pick, man, for getting us in there. Y'all did do us kind of dirty with the Houston Rockets picks tonight, but we'll chalk it up to everybody has a bad night, Prize Picks. But please don't do us like that again. We are here at Debate with Bake Podcast. Please don't do us like that. Houston is the home team. All right, let's get into it. There's not a lot of NFL topics going on today, but one of the biggest topics, and shout out to Chuck for reminding me about this, is there's a lot of talk in the sports world, in particular NFL world, about Sanders, that is, not participating in the combine. Shedeur Sanders, that is the quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes. So some people are saying that he should have participated. Some people think that it's no need for him to participate. But let's talk about it on a panel tonight. Let's start with you, Ro. How do you feel about that? Do you feel any kind of way about him not participating in the NFL Combine?
I do. I mean, if I could see if it was like foregoing a senior season or something like that, but it's like to not participate in the combine. Just I'm an old head. I'm old school. It automatically pricks suspicion. Like, what are you hiding? If you can outshine and you really want to go in there, what you got going on? Because he not throwing in, Cam Ward not throwing, huh?
No, Cam Ward is the same.
It's like I understand from a negotiation standpoint if they're letting them fly with it like that, but I don't agree with the philosophy of it, so to speak. It's like, nah, you throw at your pro day, man. You want to be a lottery pick? It's not a lottery. You want to be in a first round. You want to be a first round, a first day. You got to throw, man. Boys don't know enough about you. It's like, and I hesitate to question the competition in it because it's like I'm pulling for these kids. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see them, but I think it's a bad precedent. I think the bad precedent was set with Caleb. And it's just the way that they're treating these quarterbacks now at these particular points. It's like, okay, y'all kind of getting an unrealistic taste of the grind, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like y'all trying to save your arm. I don't know. I'm not all that crazy about it, but I'm trying to understand.
Right. What do you think, Cole? Because I want to dive a little bit deep into this because it does concern me. But what do you think? Let's get your take first, Cole. What do you think about him not participating? And if you want to, you can comment also on Cam Ward if you want to.
Well, I think that both of them have nothing to lose. They're already listed as the top 2 quarterbacks. I think that they have more to lose. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. By them, performing and not doing well, I think they can, move down on the charts. I think that right now they solidified the 1 and 2 quarterbacks in the draft. So for them, it's actually a smart move. Number 2, I also think is a smart move because it kind of doesn't allow it kind of like for Deion Sanders, he wants his son to play in certain places. I think that the fact that he's not showing his talents, he kind of directs his, where his son to where he wants him to be based off of, he knows who likes him and who don't like him right now. And I think it works better if I'm kind of explaining it off a little bit, but
no, I get what you're saying. Right.
What I'm trying to say is that I think that he's controlling his destiny right now by maintaining his security of where he's drafted. He's also controlling his destiny by saying, if I show out too much, some of these other teams that I don't want to go to might start, trading up, and then I'm forced to play for them unless I, pull an Eli Manning and say, hey, I'm not going to do that. And that ain't going to work until I like Cam Ward. I'm stuck between the two too. But I think they got enough film for everyone to see that they're both, the top 2 quarterbacks. So
that's why I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that, because I agree with both of you. I do see, and I think Ro hit the nail on the head. It's like you setting a precedent, and okay, for the sake of what you're saying, Cole, and I agree with you too, is that I do think both of them have done enough to not where they don't need to. But again, I'm with Ro too, in the sense that that's all by interpretation and how you see yourself and how you see your play. I decide not to participate because I think I've done enough, and I think both of them have done enough. But when you set that precedent, then the next year it's like there's going to be guys that come in that they're going to think that they've done enough, and it's like they haven't done enough. It's a subjective thing anyway, but it does set a precedent that, hey, I don't need to participate in the combine. And that's because, I think I've done enough. I don't want to risk an injury. I don't want to risk a dropping of stock. But then I asked that question, like Rose says, for the love of the game, and not only that, for the confidence, because that same person, Deion Sanders, they challenged him to go run his 40, and he did, and he didn't have to. I mean, I'll never forget that he got out of the limo with the curl, and he went out there and he did it. And we all knew that Deion was pretty much the fastest person in college, but he did it anyway, just to set a precedent.
That's what you do,
right. And it's kind of like for the spirit of seeing what you got, I understand that, but I'm torn in between because I also get what Cole is saying. Only thing that bothers me about what you're saying, Cole, and I understand 100% what you're saying. So I'm not directly taking offense to what you're saying per se coming from you, but it's like I get into that questionable thing as far as what Deion is saying in the sense that I don't want my son going certain places. See, that gets dangerous too.
It's a testament to how much goes on behind the scenes
right.
that we have no clue about.
Right.
So it's like these deals be made.
Now, I also knowing what I know about Cole would counter that point. What he said, Eli did it. I mean,
what's been going on?
I mean, the other kid, the kids say I ain't going. Mm-hmm. So why shouldn't Deion be able to say, hey, my son ain't going here?
And he should. And he should be able to. If it come down, but you have to be able to wear that bitch ass dude label if that's right. If you force and pull a maneuver because like that, you got to go and stand. I mean,
and let's be honest, the whole point of the draft is the best player goes to the worst teams, right?
That's the way it's incentively laden. So for the bad team, for parity in the league, you know what I'm saying? It's like
because it just seems a little bit unrealistic. Like I'm the best quarterback. So I'm gonna go to the best team or one of the best teams.
Best team,
you know what I'm saying?
And it makes sense, best team for you, best situation for you. I understand and respect that. But what about these small market teams and these teams that are perpetually losers? It's bad for the league in my particular.
And how do they get a franchise player?
Right. If nobody willing to come there, everybody want to force their way out.
How does a franchise raise itself up from being down there?
But I get where Deion is. Let's use the Browns, for example. How many times are they going to continue to be whacked?
That's true. That is true.
You had Baker Mayfield with the number 1 pick. You had Bernie Kosar with the number 1 pick. You traded for Deshaun Watson.
But here's the thing, though.
You had Tim Couch. You had a whole bunch.
But I get that. But that's on the Browns. At the end of the day, you got to go where they send you. Because here's the thing. Regardless of what the Browns, how is the Browns going to pull themselves out of the cellar? I mean, we need Cleveland. The Browns are a historic franchise. We need Cleveland. I mean, Cole.
I get that.
Even like, and this is probably not a good example with the Knicks. Okay, you guys were able to pull yourselves out of the cellar because of coaching, and then y'all found a diamond in the rough, in my opinion, about Bronson. Okay. How often does that happen? How often does that happen? You guys took a gamble on somebody who, if you got a high level eye, could see that this kid was going to be special, but not everybody could see that. He was in Dallas.
It was like the Harden trade, but with no downside.
Exactly. So you guys, credit to your front office, and that may be why you taking a shot at Cleveland, because it's really their fault for them, running quarterbacks and the franchise into the ground. But again, how do we get Cleveland to be better as a league? How do we put a better product out?
And that's where I don't think you put the onus so much on the players. I think it's the front office.
But
you look at teams look at the NBA. You look at teams that have the number 1 pick every year and they're trash.
Yeah.
But it's to the point where front office needs to have some accountability of you putting a team together and stop trying to build teams with just young players, because young players need mentorship.
Yeah, but at the end,
how to eat, how to work out, how to practice, how to do all these other things.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Cole, that's a great point. But you got to look at it from the NFL, the product as itself. They looking at it as a league. What the NFL, the NBA, what they want to do is to say, hey, okay, let's give these teams a chance to get a big time player. It's up to them to make it happen. It's still on the. You're right. It's still a responsibility of the owners and that team to make themselves better.
Because you still get your thoroughbreds in your program, but it's like,
but the
eventually
NFL,
they want out,
right? Well, and that's on them. But the NFL still has to do its job in making sure that the best players from college go to the worst team.
Yeah, it's like, wasn't you supposed to get like a tampering charge or something?
Exactly.
Back in the day when it's like,
because
you
here's
start
the
talking
thing:
to him for his
when
time.
you start opening that box, what Dion is trying to open, and listen, if it was my son, I would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If I had the power to, I don't have the power that Dion has, but when you open that floodgate, it's like, okay, now Roe, who's an ex-NFL player, his son is coming up. Well, you know what? Dion's son didn't have to go to Cleveland. So guess what? Right. My son ain't going to the Cardinals. And then you start a trend.
I get what you're saying, but not every player has that type of stature.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Some people, other NFL players could take take an offense to that because it's like, so Dion, because of who Dion is,
there were better.
But that's okay. Look at LeBron and Bronny. Like,
but did that work? But it didn't work, and it cost the league. It cost the league because of that. It cost the league. That's what I'm saying. Bronny going to LA, that didn't help.
Nah, I think it was actually a nice little story. People on the road
but I'm telling you to look at it from the NBA's perspective. What did it do? It gave LA some media coverage. It didn't help the product.
It didn't move the needle.
Yeah, it didn't help the product.
It made a bunch of money,
but it didn't help the product. We looking at the product. The NBA gonna make money.
Hey, you see, I got my Lakers
because
on.
The only way it made significant money. Where is he now? Now, if it turned out that he went to the Lakers and he actually contributed and he actually was a part of what's going on now with the success of the LA Lakers, because right now with the Lakers, what they saying is JJ Redick is one of the best coaches, and that franchise made a big move by Luka. We'll talk about that soon. But the Bronny story, I mean, I hate to compare it to this, but it didn't even go as Jeremy Lin had a better story because he had a length of time where he was successful. They sold tickets in New York for the whole season. That was miracles he was doing for the whole season. Bronny came in, it was a historic landmark, but then it burnt out because they still not talking about it. They talking about Luka now. They talking about the Lakers contending for a playoff spot. Where is Bronny? That's all I'm saying. It brought a lot of eyes, but it didn't last.
He is in the G League clowning, and the other parts of that is he's selling 10 million jerseys a month.
Ain't got nothing to do with the Lakers.
They Lakers jerseys he's selling.
He's selling G League jerseys.
No, those are Lakers jerseys that's selling.
So
he bought 500 million just in merchandise sales.
So
alone.
I want you.
That's the point I was making.
Either you or Cole to tell me what's his number, because I don't know what his number is for the Lakers.
I don't know his jersey number.
Exactly. I didn't buy one, but what I'm telling you is he sold $500 million worth of them.
But that's in LA. Nobody, y'all couldn't tell me what the number is. His jersey is.
Ain't nobody sold that many jerseys is the point I'm making. The stats said he sold more than KD. He sold more jerseys than his father.
I think it's number 9. I think
he sold more jerseys than his father opening.
I think
so I get what you're saying. You're talking about to the game. I'm talking about to the league. To the league, he generates bread.
I think he wearing number 9, man.
I strongly disagree that he represents bread in the league.
No, I said he generates bread.
I was thinking from a business standpoint, they would have wrapped him on up.
I guarantee you right now. I guarantee you right now, Luka has tripled themselves in jerseys for the Lakers versus Bronny. I guarantee you that.
That could be. The 77 is 6.
I guarantee you, Luka has outsold Bronny by millions and will continue to outsell Bronny by millions. No. But I get what you're saying, Cole. It's just the fact that I'm down the middle because I understand what it is in terms of what more does my son need to do? Why does he need to go to the combine? Like, what are we gonna look at in the combine, Cole, that's gonna affect his draft status? Is it the way he throws the football? Is it the bench press? Is it the squats? I mean, what is he gonna do?
And for me, I think that it sets a bad precedent. But however, I feel like there are individuals who you bend rules for. It's like having that best player on the team. Do you make them do all the drills everybody else do? You knew when we growing up and we were playing sports. I played football. We had a star running back that be chilling, and coach made this because we don't want him getting all hit up in practice. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
everyone has they.
I don't know, man. I kind of agree with you on that. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not completely sold on Shador yet. I'm getting it.
And let's take it away from that. Look at basketball. How many times you see all these top 3, top 4 draft picks get the draft combine all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I also understand. I'm split. I understand what Roe is saying because
and I'm not. And Shador gonna be good. Him and Ward gonna be good.
Man, I don't know.
So did y'all hear
Ward land with the Jets, yo? He gonna make Aaron Rodgers
didn't want to be out there with receivers and people who he ain't had no experience with, and they running the routes wrong. They don't underestimate the throws, and he was like, "Man, I would rather not be embarrassed because somebody else messed up."
I don't like that.
That's what Shador said.
I don't like that either. Man.
That's teaching accountability.
So now we gonna equate our possible performance to somebody else.
It's like
we don't even know.
He gonna be all right.
It's
like Cole.
Damn, Shador, we got to write you.
I believe that both of them.
But like to Rose's point, Cole. Now you setting yourself up because here's the thing. You taking the diva role. Now that first season, no matter where you go, if you play bad. We bringing this up.
You're gonna hit.
So can you live up to that hype in the NFL?
I think he's built for it. I don't know if Cam Ward would be built for it, but I know Shador would be built for it.
And let me ask you this, Cole, because I don't see this yet. What is it that you see from him? And listen, when I say this, I think right now, if Cousins can get a contract in the NFL, he definitely can. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, because I know the first thing you're going to say, I've been debating you for years. I mean, if Deshaun Watson can do it, he can do it. I know you was going to go there. That train was eventually going to come because you hate Deshaun Watson. But my whole thing is, and I was going to respond with Baker Mayfield because I think he could be better than Baker Mayfield. But anyway, let me ask you this. What is it in his game that you think is NFL ready right now? Because I don't completely see it right now.
I'll tell you about 4 things.
Tell me.
Watch them play the first 2 years, you'll know that he's never had an offensive line. And he's always stayed in the pocket, stayed composed, and he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in all of college football. Number two, he can throw every throw. Number 3, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. And a lot of these young dudes, they come out and they'll lose you games because they can't process the game. Number 4.
Did you skip 3? Or you going?
That was number 3.
That was number 3.
That was number 3. And number 4, he's been around a pro. He's been around NFL teams his whole entire life as a kid. Probably sitting in the practices. He's trained under Tom Brady. He has.
And out of all the 4 you name, I'll take the last one. But the first 3 has nothing to do with the NFL.
It has nothing to do with the NFL, but it's good tape. It's definitely good tape to show that, hey, I can play with a trash offensive line and not the greatest receivers and still produce at a high level and compete.
Hold on, but let me let Roe get in this. But let me say this. To Roe's point, now you pushing me more to Roe's side. It's like I didn't see nothing physically.
That's my point. Like
I did not see anything. No. Hold on. Wait. Because we are in an era. If you're not a dual threat in the NFL, you're not gonna make it. Yeah. I didn't see anything college-wise. And maybe that's what Roe is saying. Maybe you do need to get in the combine. Maybe you do need to show us that you got
physical gifts.
Right. Because that's the question for me. If I'm a draft expert, and I'm not a draft expert, so people gonna kill me for that. I have not seen anything physically. Now I'm not talking about accurate throws.
If the man just had a cannon, it's like okay, I could work with that. You know,
I have not seen anything physically with Caleb. I saw his ability to run. With Lamar, I saw his ability to run and throw. Even with your man that got hurt in Minnesota with the big arm, I seen the big arm. I don't see anything physically that sticks out to me about Shador.
I encourage you to do one thing. I haven't seen. I'm not even saying watch highlights because highlights they do you injustice. Go on YouTube, Choose a game that he's even lost, whether it was Colorado State or one of them other games, and watch how accurate he is when he doesn't even have that much space. And one of the biggest things I watch when it comes to college football, and I watched Beck. Everyone was praising Beck like he was some superstar quarterback, and I knew he was trash. Is the difference between playing for a mid-major team and an SEC team is that when you throw that ball, there's about 15 yards between you and the receiver and the defender, so it's an easier pocket for them to make the complete the pass. When he's playing at Colorado, he's playing against upper echelon teams, and he usually doesn't have a big window. But everything that I notice about him throwing is that when he throws the ball, his players have an opportunity to catch and run. When he's throwing the ball, he's very accurate, whether he's moving in the pocket, whether he's rushing to the outside. He makes every single throw, the mid-level throw, the long throw, and the short throw. He's very accurate. He processes information really quickly. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. I watch almost every game.
But this college, though.
Here's a perfect
comparison. And it's not against Alabama. It's not against LSU. It's against
like if my guy had like a Vince Young season. If he had like one Vince Young season where it was like, okay, you ain't got all the.
He doesn't have Vince Young's team.
Well, now Vince Young's team ain't got nothing to do with it. Vince Young was the single best player in college football.
Thank you. That championship game.
Yes,
he made it
clear
that he was the best player, not just the best quarterback. He was the best player in the game. And USC was stacked, and that was against the highest talent in the game.
Trophy winner.
Who was his receiver?
It doesn't matter, but that's what I'm saying. The same.
To be honest with you,
I'm saying that's the same thing. I'm saying what Roach is saying. Roach just made it better.
I'll be honest.
There has not been a game. I'm not talking about yards. I'm not talking about accuracy. Everything you look at. There has not been a game where I said he has separated himself from the pack for me.
And he ain't got to throw. Don't even worry about it, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. When we watch Vince, that's a great example. When we watch Vince in that USC championship game, there was not a doubt to everybody's mind.
Vince might not have been able to read, but it's like, you know what? We can work with it. We don't see what this kid got.
Because the talent was there.
Exactly
against the best team. And I'm not saying that's all Shadur's fault. I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet.
And I hope it's there for him because, like I said, the stage is setting. It's a whole lot of mediocre quarterback play going on. That's what makes me leery about it because it's like he could be a Trevor Lawrence real easy out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, say, dog, I need you to be productive.
And it's not like and it's not his fault. It's not like he's going against Georgia one week, Alabama the next week. It's not like he doing that, Cole.
You feel me? And then it's like they had a up and down year with that. And he had the benefit of playing with this Travis Hunter kid that won the Heisman. So it's like,
look, and that's another great example. His teammate was clearly in multiple games the best player on the field and in college football. Yeah. His teammate separated himself from a lot of people
on both sides of the ball.
So I don't know, Cole.
He would have been the best player anywhere in the country. So
true. So
but that's what I'm saying. Where's Shadur's moment?
It's not. We keep saying it's not Shadur's fault per se. You know what I'm saying? And they doing it right. Deion them doing it right because I want to see the black man win too. Bottom line, period. Right or wrong. But if I'm in the shoes,
giving them the record that they had coming from a 1-13 team or something like that.
And that's a testament, but that's a testament to Prime.
Yeah,
that's a testament to Prime more so than
recruiting. There's so many other things that go to that. There's recruiting. There's coaching.
I don't want to give him credit for anything.
Well, because Shiloh don't get no burn. It was like that was really Prime's masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? The season, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Listen, that's why I said it. That's why I said at the beginning of this debate. Don't get me wrong. If Cousins can steal all the money he stole, Shadur should be in there. Trust me.
But I'm telling you, because it's like the product, the quality is getting lower and lower and lower. So like the next two entitled brats, and I'm not calling, like I said, because I like Shador. I mean, they do.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. Shador is gonna be better than Dak Prescott.
I could damn near ride with you, but I could damn near ride with you because Dak is that bad. But
I don't think Dak is that bad. I think Dak is top 10.
But we haven't seen Shakur in the NFL yet. Quarterbacks take time, brother. Like
not anymore.
Quarterbacks take time. So let me ask this question: on that note, right? When we see what the young guy in Washington did, when we see what our hometown hero did, right? Of course, it didn't take time.
Yeah,
right?
I think the third pick to third to the fifth pick is money.
It didn't take
the first two. I don't know.
So on the strength of saying that it takes time with quarterbacks, do you feel like Shador and or Cam will have? I ain't even gonna say an impact similar to Jalen and CJ because that's probably an anomaly. But do you think they'll produce a winning season?
Let me bring up a couple of points to that because that's a great question.
Produce a winning season.
Now let's go to the kid in Washington. Okay, the kid in Washington, for me, physically, the speed was already there. His ability to make plays when everything breaks down, his ability to improvise, that was naturally there.
Yeah.
If it's 3rd and 5, he gonna get a first down. Just by his speed, the kind of athlete he was. Now, he wasn't a big, strong guy.
Yeah, week to week, I wanted to see if it was true or not.
Right. But even coming out of LSU, because he won the Heisman too, didn't he? Yep. Coming out of LSU, there were things that he did physically because the NFL, regardless, and I get what Cole is saying, that favors the Tom Brady logic. Can you read? Can you react? He does have that because he's been around pros. He knows the knowledge of the game. That's why I say he will be able to get a contract and do well. But when that in the NFL, see what Cole is saying is when you talk about being in that pocket, in college, you go from having 5 seconds to the NFL, you got 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I think he has
I have not seen him set himself apart, whether it be speed or just traumatic, just explosive plays to go, wow. You know what I'm saying? And you need that in the NFL. Now, to CJ's point, and he may have to go CJ's route. To CJ's point, CJ did it with accuracy, like Cole said. CJ did it with this. But however, you tell me if you see CJ playing at Ohio State and this kid playing at Colorado State, even though his dad is Deion Sanders, CJ's used to playing at a higher level.
Exactly.
So going from Ohio State
right.
to the Texans,
transition.
The transition is easier. And there's nothing wrong with Shador. I just don't see him. And Cole's counter argument to that is he went where his dad. If he didn't go with his dad, he probably could have went to Ohio State. But again, if
he didn't go with his dad, he might not have been starting.
Exactly. And that's the way I feel too. But I can understand what Cole is saying in terms of his intelligence, his presence in the pocket, his ability not to turn the ball over, his ability to give his team a chance to win. Situation. He don't turn the ball over. I get what Cole is saying.
Look, I'd have taken him on them Tom Brady title teams back in the gap. Right. It's like it's not that much required. It's on you not to mess it up. So it's like
I just want to see. I just have questions. I just want to see. Now I got D lineman that's running 4.6.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not my decision.
Right.
Put it that way. I'm glad we're not looking at it.
Right.
Just to be honest.
Right.
I'm not
and now that I see safeties that are faster, now that I see cornerbacks that are faster, and it ain't just, I've been hanging out with Tom Brady my whole life. No, we in the league now. You know, can Shador stand? And this might not be a fair question. Can he get away from Will Anderson?
No, indeed. Will Anderson.
Does he have a chance? Will Anderson.
But will he need to? Look at someone like Purdy who processes real quick, makes a
and where's Purdy getting ready to go? I'm so glad you brought that up.
He's about to get a big contract. That's what he's about to get.
No, he finna be in New York with you on somebody's bitch. They not finna do nothing with him in San Francisco. Nah. Yeah, I'll let you make it this year because your boy was very quiet this year. Yeah, I'll let you make it this year on that. Yeah. You hitched your wagon to Baker to take off all the attention you put on Purdy before then. But I let you make it because you was talking about Watson. I kept that card in my back pocket, homeboy.
All them blades.
So don't even bring up. You stick with the Baker train. Don't even bring up Purdy because I let you make it on that because you was talking crazy about him. Oh yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback. You ain't say nothing all year. Please hit the like and subscribe on that. How about that? homeboy. So don't bring up Purdy.
Mm.
Let's stick with Dak and Shador.
Yeah, man.
Did you freeze over there? Oh, he ain't freeze. Okay, I thought you froze up.
We gonna see.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Purdy gonna be just fine.
Yeah, well, without Debo in the stable, man, I don't know.
Nah, man, they get ready to dismantle that team.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They get ready to be done with that, man. But no, Cole, I get what you're saying. Let me say this, Cole. In fairness to you, it does depend on where he goes, and if he can, if whatever team gets behind him, and I think this is why Dion is pushing him. I can see your point in terms of the longevity of his career. If he gets at a team that can, and I'm not even saying he got to be a system quarterback because I think he's better than that. But if he can get at a team that can keep him healthy and give him the right weapons, of course, I see the longevity of a Tom Brady and being effective.
If there was no Tom Brady, if there was no Jalen Hurts, that boy be silent in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I do get that, but the thing about it is,
so you think he need to go to a stacked team?
Oh yeah.
And
the reason I brought that up because like Washington was trash for Drayden got there.
Yeah, he changed the whole culture.
And we weren't good before CJ got here.
And so that's another great way you saying it. Does Shador have that kind of?
I don't think either one of these quarterbacks.
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. You got it. It's not just physical. It's leadership too. Now I think he has a leadership. But does he have the physical attributes to be a franchise quarterback off the bat?
So exactly. Now, I think him being like Anthony Richardson or somebody,
right?
You know,
right. And if it's an established, that's why Dion don't want him to go certain places. If it's an established order, and it doesn't have to be stacked per se, but you got to have a team that has a good offensive line and a good coordinator. Mm-hmm. Now, if he gets there and they're able to keep him upright. His knowledge, like Cole said, his ability to get the ball, the accuracy, definitely. But that kid in Washington, you can put him on a team with nothing. And boom.
Starts probably, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's certain players. Yeah. That's why I'm telling everybody when we had this quarterback debate in the NFL, you got Mahomes, maybe Lamar, maybe Josh. Everybody else needs help.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people in Dallas, stop getting mad at Dak because it's not all Dak's fault. Dak is not Mahomes. You can't throw him out there with anybody. But most quarterbacks are not like that. Most quarterbacks, you can't say, hey, man, here, and you ain't got nothing and make it happen. It's one or two of them guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Hurts. They won because they played to his strengths. And they stacked that team. You know, I go back to my example all the time of the Rams when they won. Who the Rams won with
St. Louis,
golf?
Kurt Warner.
No, I'm talking about with golf. The latest one.
Oh, yeah.
Stafford. They stacked that team.
Yeah,
because they didn't let Stafford have to do too much.
Aaron Donald team.
Aaron Donald. They my man that from Texas A&M that was the fast dude on the outside. The Vaughn guy. Von, I can't think his name. Von. Yeah, I think Von Miller.
Yeah, was he there too?
Yeah. And they spit the world.
Who was in the? Was Cooper Kupp there? Who was?
Nah. It was
Cooper Kupp was there. Cooper Kupp was there for the first
when they won that championship.
Him and Odell Beckham, and Odell got hurt.
Right, and they stacked those running backs. Remember, they had 2 or 3 good running backs.
Odell,
right. Mm-hmm. And they stacked that team.
Odell running, their first half was crazy.
And all Stafford had to do was not turn the ball over, make some plays. That's what San Francisco did with Purdy. They stacked the team. They had
who was that running back they had that got injured, and he was freaking nice, yo.
The big dude
might have been Gurley.
Not Gurley. It was Gurley. It was Gurley.
It was after
Gurley. They had a big dude back there that was a stud. Nobody really knew about him, but he ran hard that Super Bowl run. I know who Cole talking about.
Not Akers.
Nah, it was another dude. He unknown now. I know exactly who Cole talking about because we found out that dude was good.
Yeah.
He had made a couple of rosters and didn't do nothing. And the Rams just spent the bank. They just threw the money at everybody and said, "Hey, we going forward."
And got hot right
exactly,
there.
Exactly. So that's not talking down on Shador. I just think most NFL quarterbacks are like that. There's only 1 or 2 where you could say you don't need much.
Got multiple styles.
Right. Like you that much of and Chuck brought up a good example with the kid from Washington. That kid has that it factor.
Put him in any system.
Right. And even CJ, CJ because of, And the funny part about CJ is I actually think he can run. He just won't.
He just don't.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But his leadership, his ability not to turn the ball over, and that's what Cole kind of talking about.
Shador should emulate CJ, as a matter of fact.
Exactly.
Like, that's
exactly.
The way he processes.
Exactly. And even now, CJ's struggling a little bit, but
it's not regression.
Exactly.
Regression.
He dealt with the second year. Or we know who you are now.
And it's mostly that, and it's okay. I'm starting to second guess myself. I'm starting to think a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just balling.
I'm on him today. It's not all Trevor Lawrence.
Right. So at the end of the day, I get what Cole is saying, and I think that's why I do understand why Dion is saying I want my son to go here versus over there. I get what Cole is saying, because in the long run, if you're able to protect somebody like Shador with the experience, with the IQ, there's a possible Super Bowl run for him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it.
It's funny. He kind of reminds you a lot of Eli.
Yeah.
He got like tools like Eli.
Yeah.
It's not just so overwhelming.
Yeah. I just don't think you can put that with that tool set. I don't think you could throw him out there and say, go win us something with subpar stuff.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that type of athleticism.
Yeah, you need him in the room, but you're gonna need you a Russell Wilson, or you need another quarterback, or somebody to share the room.
Right. All right. Let's do one of these Fox lists, and then we'll move on. Let's do. Since we've been talking about the Chiefs, let's do the tight ends list. Now, Fox, do they have it correct? 10 top 10 tight ends of all time: Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce, Antonio Gates, Ron Gronkowski, Jason Witten, Shannon Sharp, Greg Olsen, Jackie Smith, Mike Dicker, Jimmy Graham. Anybody?
It's correct, but it's not
the right order.
Exactly.
All right, what would be your order, bro?
I like Tony G at number one, still probably. Even though it's like I could easily have Tony G, Gronk.
That's my one.
And Kelce kind of at a three-way tie for the top three spots, to be honest. And then kind of you shuffle Gates down, unfortunately. It's difficult to do. Yeah. But you got to put Shannon Sharp ahead of Gates even. You got to.
Because of the Super Bowl.
Because of the Super Bowl.
Okay, I can ride with that, yeah.
Because it's like Gates had probably the most production on the list, that I saw out of somebody that didn't win it all outside of Tony G. So it's like, Jason Witten, I could see him take a major bump and slide back. I could actually slide him out for a couple of average tight ends. I could slide him out for like Mark Andrews or somebody.
Yeah, I kind of agree, because it's like that's the cowboy appeal.
Yeah, it's like Jason Witten. He participated on a lot of losing teams.
If you want to stay with the Cowboys, I might put Jay Novacek in there.
Yeah.
Over Witten,
for sure.
Cowboy tight ends. He might not even be the greatest Cowboy tight end.
It's like there's a lot of Texans, Billy Miller and Owen Daniels. We had some Texan tight ends eating that boy. You know what I'm saying? When we was bad.
I ain't gonna say
no. Look, when we was bad, because it's like Witten played on semi-stacked teams. They won 12 and 13 games a year between Romo. And I guess he didn't see no Dak. But
I ain't gonna say he shouldn't be on this list, but I definitely understand he should be bumped down. I definitely understand that.
Did Greg Olsen get one?
Nah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we could bump him down a little bit too. He was productive, but because it's like
okay.
Can
you put Jimmy over Jason Witten?
Yeah, I think so. Just from my appreciation of what Jimmy Graham brought to the thing, because he kind of brought that hybrid receiver, tight end type of skill set.
All right, stay right there. Can I take Jason Witten out and put in Jeremy Shockey?
I think so. I like that.
That's what I was thinking about.
I like that.
Like Shockey,
I like that.
That's the name I was thinking.
I like that. Shockey was nasty.
You think Shockey was better than Jay Novacek?
Man, Novacek got the championships, man.
But Shockey got one at least, don't he?
Do we?
He got one.
I give Shock credit just because Shock was a part of that Miami dynasty in college. Arguably the greatest football teams of all time, college football team, the Miami days.
Yeah. Did he play with Sean T? He played with Sean Taylor. That was all the same team. The boys were nasty.
Yeah, they were nasty. In fact, we're gonna do a debate on that one day. We're gonna get back to that. I remember Cole. We talked about doing the running back. We're gonna get back to that too. But I could take Shockey out. I could take Witten out, put Shockey in there.
I like that. I mean, and then Mike Dick and Jackie Smith can stay. They're the originators. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's a lot of honorable mentions. It's like well, you got some Mercedes Lewises and Algie Crumplers. Even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some
so, Ro, you good with the first 5? Just changing the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cole, what you think about this list?
My order would change slightly. I think I will probably put Tony Gonzalez number 1, Rob Gronkowski number 2.
That's what I said.
It's
hard for me not to put Gronkowski number 1, man.
Kelsey and Gates. I kind of like Gates a little bit more. I think if Gates was on Kelsey, he'd be doing the same.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
If he played in KC,
get that. I can get that. I get that.
I like that.
That's easy. I can get that.
I think Shannon Sharp would pass both. So actually it'd be Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, Shannon Sharp. I put Gates and Kelsey after my man, but since he went to jail, I actually think Aaron Hernandez was better than both of them.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm not gonna put him there just for that. Olsen, I can't speak much on Mike Dick and Jackie Smith. I know who they are. I've seen highlights, but I haven't seen enough of them. So I'm gonna stick to my era. I think is it Frank Wycheck that played under McNair?
Tennessee, yeah, it was nasty.
It was pretty solid. And Mark Bavaro. Mark Bavaro used to be nice to me too, yo.
Yeah, with Phil Simms, no lie.
I agree with that too. I'm thinking about Brent Jones.
Who was the guy in Philly? I mean,
yes, Brent Jones was on there for sure.
Miller,
Heath Miller was nice, but it was another one too. Seemed like it was another man.
I got them honorable mention on number 11. I was gonna say Miller right after them. I can't put Miller in the top 10, but I could definitely put him next. He top 15 tight end for sure. Because I could throw Mercedes Lewis in there. I'm still thinking about Brent Jones from the 49ers, but Miller's right there. That's a good one.
Seemed like Bennett's wasn't bad, man. Bennett wasn't bad?
Yeah, Martellus
Bennett. Yeah, he wasn't bad.
He's honorable mention to me too. What's my man that played at
It was another old one in New England.
You said
Ben Coates.
Yeah,
Ben Coates was nice.
I could throw Coates in there, honorable mention. I could also throw Crumpler in there. Algie Crumpler.
Yeah, Algie definitely. From Atlanta to Tennessee,
I could even throw my man in there. His son played in the league, but my man that played for the Chargers, Kellen Winslow. Yeah, I could put Winslow in there.
Him and his old man was nice.
Yeah. Nice. I could throw them in there, but I would say this: I gotta put, as much as I want to put Tony G, I probably would do Tony G and Rob Gronkowski as 1A, 1B. It's just Gronkowski. He checks all the boxes. Championships.
It was the run he had, and you couple that with Tommy doesn't win that last one without
exactly.
Gronk,
and I think we found out over time that without Gronkowski, we don't know what Tommy is. Yeah. And I'm not taking nothing away from Tommy, but Gronk was always there.
The fact
that last one,
I went to the next team, and you had to come with me,
right?
For me to get it done.
Exactly.
To get New England out from over both their heads, they had to go and do it in Tampa.
Correct me, and I might not be right on this, but Gronk was there at every ring for Tommy, right? Yep. Even in Tampa Bay too. Yep. I got it. Him and Tony are 1A, 1B to me. I just think Gronkowski, the championships, that's the only thing Tony don't have, and it wasn't Tony's fault. But Gronkowski got multiple championships.
And then, like, even with a Kelsey, because I would say like the output is similar. Gronk gives you more.
Gronk got 4. So Tom got like 7. So he wasn't there for all of them.
But he was there for at least half. So I give him credit for that.
With Deion Branch and some other people way back. Yeah. But
and that's what I say about Gronk. Because see, tight ends, there's certain tight ends.
Matter of fact, Martellus Bennett was one of his tight ends,
right,
on one of them teams to get the ball. To get
and see, with tight ends, there's different categories. In that Gonzalez could block and catch. Gronkowski could block and catch. Kelsey is more of a receiving tight end.
Exactly. Doesn't quite chip.
I think Gates could do both. I even say that Witten was more of a catch. I mean, he blocked, but
he blocked because he was slow as fuck.
Right. But Jimmy was a pass first tight end.
Yeah,
but Jimmy so much.
Jimmy wanted receiver money. That he kept trying to command.
Right. So I would agree with the first 5 here.
Did Jimmy get one with A-Rod in Green Bay?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I thought Jimmy's was in New Orleans.
He got a lot of burn in New Orleans, but he didn't win. He didn't win in New Orleans. Did he win?
That was the Katrina team, right?
Yep.
He
was
won.
Jimmy there? Was Jimmy there? I don't. He might have been there.
He might have been on that.
He
team.
might have been there. I don't know.
Brees,
Cole, was Jimmy there?
I think he did get it with Drew Brees.
That's what's up. No, that's okay. Well, then,
unless he went to Seattle at that point.
He definitely deserves a spot higher on the list. If he's got a ring,
I don't have a problem with Jimmy being in the top 10. I just don't think he can crack that top 5. But I do think he has a place.
Too one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And that tight end, you can't quite add that.
Exactly. And again, I'm still going to ride in the 90s with Jay Novacek and Brent Jones. Brent Jones was on them teams with Montana and them for San Francisco. Bavaro, too. Mark Bavaro's got to be in there.
Seemed like Washington had some nice ones, too.
Washington was more the offensive line as a whole.
O-line,
they had the hogs.
Yeah. Riggins and
I like the list though.
Jimmy Graham does not have a chip.
Ooh.
That doesn't surprise me. I didn't think he got one in New Orleans. I think he came after it.
He put up good numbers everywhere he went because it was always that argument like, okay, you're not blocking, but you show his
he
catching.
Was just doing so many great things.
Show up catching out. He was like Taysom Hill. They kind of keep a novelty player out there that kind of is a slash.
With you on that.
You know?
I'm with you on that. All right, let's go to the association, man. Let's get into some as we get into the playoffs. Now, Chuck brought up a good point. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the trajectory of what's going on with Golden State and LA since the trades. Let's start with LA. I think LA right now, since Luka has arrived, I think they're 7-2. They're kind of riding a winning streak right now. I think they did 6 straight up. Don't quote me on that. But let's talk about that. Now, how do we feel about it? What are we seeing from LA? And does it last? Does it last? Let's identify what's going on there. And then let's talk about, do we think it takes them into a playoff run? Let's start with you, Cole. What do you think about what's going on in LA? Why the success with the Luka experiment so far? And does it last?
I will say, one, I was wrong about them being able to play together. I think LeBron playing off the ball, being a more willing cutter. I think them playing up pace, pushing the tempo is creating more shot attempts, creating more open court opportunities, is spreading the floor for them. I actually think the success will last. In fact, I think they are the only team that can upset OKC. I think they're the only team that could really upset OKC in the West. I think they have the only issue they have is I can't stand watching Luka's defense, man. I can't sit there and say someone.
I knew you was gonna get to it. I was waiting.
I can't sit there and say someone is a top player in the league and they play absolutely no defense. It just blows my mind. But he's that good offensively. I guess that you have to eat it, you know. But I foresee them finishing with the top 2 seed in the West.
Okay, so who do they beat? Can they beat everybody in the West in the playoffs?
I think they could beat. Forgive me. There's 3 teams because I still think if Davis is healthy, Dallas could beat anyone as well. I think it comes down to OKC, Lakers, and Dallas. I think the reason why I choose Dallas and Lakers to beat OKC is because they have the veterans. And LeBron is putting up better numbers this season than his MVP season. And I think there's a lot less pressure with Luka. So,
Ro, why do you think it's working in LA so far?
Oh, like Cole hit it on the head, man. They able to get away with the defensive shortcut. That was the only reservation I had about it because I mean their offensive upside is their offensive acumen is so high that I guess I feel foolish for thinking there was any way it was not going to work and being in doubt with that. It was just a matter of the auxiliary pieces and them being able to just complement what's going on. I think the Jackson Hayes kid is playing crazy, and it's like. Remember the pairing because LA slicked around and did it ingenious because he will have had both halves of that Kyrie LeBron duo to pair Luka with to learn. You know.
Okay, stop right there because you brought up a good point, and I want you to because you talking to exactly what I'm thinking about because I was going there. What is the difference between what LeBron is doing with him? Because LeBron played off the ball and Kyrie played off the ball with him too. But what is the difference in LA?
I think it might be just the size differential because LeBron is naturally that kind of player. That's part of what masks the defensive shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? It's got them running. It's got them finding one another and drawing attention away. Like you said, LeBron has hit the Ponce de Leon fountain of youth with in terms of his output and his functionality on the team. So they stumbled up on some super slick shit. And the NBA is in need of a gimmick right now. So it's like outside of that, they need the Lakers in Boston right now in the finals. Something to draw some drama and drum up some drama. So they
mean the Lakers and the Knicks.
No, you can throw the Knicks in there too, because I say it all the time. You need the historic. You need the historic.
I would like that because y'all's doing y'all dug up from the mud.
It's better for the NBA.
Right, y'all earned it. But at the end of the day, I think we still battling a little bit of the fugazi, a little bit out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like with load management, this, that, and other. Boys know who's gonna win. You know, all this shit was real deliberate. Adam Silver knows who's gonna win the chip this year. The shit is damn near scripted. I don't want to buy into it because I believe in Santa Claus and shit. You dig? So, you know, hey,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a LeBron fan, but now I'm not even gonna lie, Bake. Since the trade and since they moved Davis, I've been watching every single Lakers game. I stay up late and I watch.
I dug my shit out the mud.
Let me tell you this, and y'all both briefly. And I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all both briefly hit on the point. I think it's a great point. The thing about it is this: it's like what's so bad about the Anthony Davis situation is this. This is exactly what they wanted. They wanted LeBron to be the Robin. That's how you sustain his career. You get the ball to Luka and you let Luka do what he does. And LeBron doesn't mind. That's why he can last so long. He doesn't mind being a number 2 guy. And he doesn't mind just being a finisher.
It's like they brought a closer in. They brought in a closer.
And that's what they wanted Anthony Davis to do. Not in the same faction, but to be the top guy. Because you don't want a 40-year-old, as great as he's playing, you don't want him to be your number 1 guy. Not because he can't. It's just that he doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to sustain himself. And that's the model that the Lakers had. It didn't work with Davis because Davis kept getting hurt. And it's working with Luka because LeBron can still finish. He's not worrying about trying to set up anybody. Now, when Luka goes to the bench, he can still do it. But that's the role he wants to play. He wants to play the number 2 guy.
And it's like final shot. You can easily insert Luka into that Jordan role. You got him shoot a logo 3 for the game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's why it works, because LeBron doesn't mind doing that. That's what LeBron wants to do in LA. He wants the number 1 guy. Go ahead.
You think LeBron plays 2 to 3 more years now?
I think so. Easily.
Easily.
With the output. I was thinking that. I was like, yo, this
now to that point, if they're going to continue to have some success, the Lakers
they're trying to get Bronny a ring.
To their credit, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe after that. To their credit, though, it's going to put some pressure on their front office, because here's the thing: you have a legitimate contender now. It ain't no more. Oh, we don't know.
Y'all back in the fast lane.
Yeah. So you know, they got to continue to build. They got to, and it works for Luka because you can show Luka. They can show Luka how to be a pro in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? So get in shape. And I do think, though, to Cole's point, to your point too, Ro, I hope Luka can get this. In order for them to win a championship, I don't care what they do, he has to play some kind of defense. It doesn't matter how good LeBron looks, he's got to come with it, you know, and hopefully he'll learn that. But let's talk about Golden State.
Wait, before you even do that, though, I watched the game the other day. I think it's impossible for anyone to play that bad of defense, yo.
You think it was worse than Harden sometimes in the Houston years?
It's 20 times worse than Harden, because at least you know when Harden locks in, he can really lock a dude in.
Right.
Freaking, I seen him as like hit.
I seen Luka.
He's like stuck in mud. He just
looks. Cole say like he's stuck in mud. He'll
swipe at the person, and it's like, yo, there was no resistance. Like get a blocking foul or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like no resistance. It's like you play 2K and your controller's stuck. Like the analog won't move.
Hey,
It's
look,
moving in the wrong direction.
look. We used to call that shit. Oh, that Matador defense that's straight. That Olay, you know what I mean? That motherfucker go. You know what I'm saying?
Cole said like your controller stuck, man. Your joystick then froze up on you, man.
I'm
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
some kind of way he even got slow hands.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
he reaches slow. It's real, it's telegraphed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, fool.
But
Like,
then they get to steal and he runs like faster than you never seen him run before. And I'm sitting there like, come on, man. Put the same effort in, man.
Yeah,
see,
they got
if we were playing something about, he be the kind of dude would piss me off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, say, fool. You always out here snowbirding, fool, and then you pulling up logo 3. What you doing, man?
Yeah, I would never say I do anything better than a professional player, but I know for a fact I play better defense than Luka.
Oh yeah. Just
I know for a fact.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like it because Poe Dirk couldn't get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Dirk
couldn't.
had to really pay his dues
Mm-hmm.
and find and really overcome a lot. And really, because I got a whole new appreciation for Dirk. Dirk is probably in my top 10 power forwards all time.
Because he did make that adjustment.
Yeah,
he didn't like to play defense.
Not at all.
But he made that adjustment.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And he probably could get away with a little bit more because he was 7 foot. You know? But yeah, I agree. Now let's talk about Golden State and Jimmy. How do y'all grade what's going on in Golden State with Jimmy?
It's 7-1 since the Jimmy trade.
Now, let's start with you, Cole, again, and we'll come back to Roe. What do you think? How do you grade them as far as since Jimmy Butler has been in Golden State?
I like it. I like it. I think they need another piece, but I like it. I think that next year, if they can draft right, actually, I'm not even gonna say next year. If they can learn how to institute Kuminga, he can be the X factor for them pulling off some upsets in the West. But Curry has to be Curry that he's been like the last couple of weeks. I think Jimmy's going to be playoff Jimmy, but it comes down to they need that third person. And if Kuminga can be that third person with consistency and they let him loose, I think they could do something. And
that's a great point. I just don't know. Kuminga has all the intangibles, but for whatever reason, and
it's system for him.
Right. And maybe it's because you have to get that shooter the ball all the time.
I don't know Mikel Bridges for him.
Right. And I don't know. I don't know if Kuminga, I don't know, man, because he has all the talent, but it's hard to play with a shooter like that. But here's the thing. That's what I don't understand. Jimmy's making it work. I mean, Jimmy's playing with a shooter because I'm thinking to myself, they're not going to stop giving the ball to Steph, But to Jimmy's credit, we don't give Jimmy a lot of credit on offense. He's a better offensive player than we give him credit. And then the reason why I say that is that I'm sitting there saying to myself, I like Jimmy going there because number one, he needs to be in a veteran locker room. Everybody knows that Jimmy will kill a young player's locker room, especially nowadays. If they're not tough, you might as well roll the cart out and put him on because he gonna expose him. They had to run him out of Minnesota because he was punking him so much. But I wondered, because I'm saying to myself, everything over there in Golden State, and rightfully so, is based around a shooter. So it's like, how does that impact Jimmy? Well, and I'm sitting there saying, what does Jimmy do best on offense? Does he drive? Yeah, he's pretty good. Not known for it, but he does make open jump shots. How is that going to work? But for whatever reason, and he's that type of guy, man, I don't know what it is, but he just steps up. He's making jump shots. He's going isolation ball. I didn't know Jimmy could do all this. Like, I'm sitting there looking at Jimmy like, you know what? This whole time, Jimmy could be one of the best players in the NBA. And I just don't see him like that. And I don't know, man. I guess the adjustment comes from Jimmy just being, he's just a tough dude, and maybe it's just something they needed. I don't know. Why you think why is it working in Golden State?
I think it's everything that they needed. I mean, unfortunately, you know what? He's like a enhancement of Draymond is what it is. That's why their synergy has gone so well. He kind of augments Draymond as well. So it's like, they've been playing well. I can't take anything away. They are, however, still like an old 1991 Cadillac, you know what I'm saying? Baritz or something. It's nice to pull out on a Sunday every now and then, but I don't see any real legitimate threat out of them, just because the West is too stacked right now. And I think at the end of the day, they can be beaten. The adjustment that needs to be made will still render them ineffective, I think.
Who, in your opinion, in the top 5, who can they not beat in a 7-game series?
Golden State in the top 5. Well, they could beat us. That's about it. Are we in the top 5 still?
I don't think they can beat the Lakers.
They can't beat. We are number 5. They could probably beat us.
They can't beat the Lakers.
Can they beat OKC in a 7-game series?
I don't think so.
What about the Lakers?
Nah.
Can they beat Memphis?
They could beat Memphis. They could beat Houston.
That's hard to say. That's hard to say. Memphis might have enough.
Can they beat Minnesota and Ant-Man?
Because you know what? You know what it is? Because it's the size. It's Jaren Jackson Jr. and Edie. They couldn't deal with that. They get eaten alive.
So what about Joker and Denver?
Can they beat Denver?
No, I don't see it.
I think Denver's vulnerable.
They are, but not to a team like Golden State.
Yeah.
Golden State would have to hit the ground running and really hit a strong stride, hit a lot of chemistry, which it looks like they may have.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
I mind
right.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Similar to LeBron, right? Playing like he found Ponce de Leon. So has Steph.
Yeah.
Steph been hooping. Steph been stiffing lately. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I think Jimmy taking some of the load off offensively for Steph.
Yeah,
I think that's why
he was an upgrade for Clay. He's kind of playing that Clay role, but it's bringing a different dimension to it. Where
It's not
Clay
just
was
shooting.
different.
It's playmaking. It's playmaking. It's not just shooting. It's playmaking.
Mm-hmm.
As good as they're playing, I'm agreeing with that. I don't think they beat. I mean,
them top 5, tough.
They probably could beat us because of experience, but I don't.
Yeah.
I still don't think they could. I think it's a way we could beat
I think it'd be close. It'd be close. Yeah, it'd be close. It would go 7. You know,
as good as Shagun is playing, as good as Jalen is playing, they're still limited on playoff experience. When we start talking about playoff experience, you don't get as many free throws. And it's not to say the Rockets don't have the talent. We just ain't playoff tested yet. So it's going to be a question mark there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rockets could beat them. I think just based on youth, and I do think coaching,
they take advantage of us.
Yeah, but when you start talking about 7-game series, and it's not Udoka, is we just don't know yet our ability as a team to adjust.
We will settle in.
Right. So when you get to playoff basketball, it's your coach against our coach. Who makes the right adjustments and veterans that's been there. You know what I'm saying? So
mess around and just drop
but let me tell you something. I think we can beat them. I think if we get the right situation in terms of if we get them in the first round or we get them somewhere, we have the talent.
We got them at home.
Yeah, if we got the higher seed, we got the talent to beat them. But you can't take away that playoff experience. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can't take away at the end of the day, like that's still stiff.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just so much experience there. I don't know, man. I guess with Golden State, I just don't know. It's kind of like what Ro was saying. As good as it looks right now, I just don't know if it translates to deep playoff wins.
Yeah, it don't quite move the needle. It wasn't enough. It was a nice move.
Right.
It was what they needed.
Right. It I don't know, man. It's man, I can't tell. I like it though. I like what I'm seeing. All right, let's do a little bit of NBA trivia. Who do you think is the greatest in-dunker of all time? Game in-dunker. Michael Jordan, Blake Griffin, Dominique Wilkins, Julius Erving, Jason Richardson, Shawn Kemp, Derrick Jones Jr., Vince Carter, and I'll throw one more. I'll throw 2 more in there. Let's go. What's the kid in Denver that jumps well?
Right now?
Yeah. Denver got a kid. Remember they had that historic dunk contest?
Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. Gordon. Ooh.
So who
I throw Larry Nance in there before I throw Gordon.
Who?
I'll throw Larry Nance in there before Gordon.
Junior or senior?
Junior? The old one?
Senior.
Oh.
That dude used to dunk on everybody.
Okay, throw him in there, Cole. Who do you think out of this group is the best?
Oh, Vince Carter. It's not even a question. Not even a question. Dominique would be number 2, but definitely Vince Carter. And Dominique would be number. Dominique probably had more in-game dunks than Vince Carter, but
Hey,
Vince Carter's dunks is just.
I got 2 honorable mentions gonna mess y'all up, man.
Man, don't be saying nothing like no Kiki Vanderway.
In-game dunkers,
Yeah, right.
in-game dunkers, and when y'all look, y'all put up tape, y'all gonna be like that boy there.
Actually, I got one too. Go ahead.
Stromae
That's what I was
Swift,
getting ready to say.
Stromae Swift,
Davis.
Stromae Swift, and number 2, I got my man Gerald Green, man. Gerald Green, in-game dunker.
He's so age time.
But you got to understand, like I said, he doesn't have.
You're right, though.
That's really all his body of work, and every team that kept him a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you name Gerald Green, you know who he remind me of? He's a poor man's Zach LaVine, yo.
Maybe.
Kinda, yeah.
Maybe.
He should have been in the league longer because he was talented, yo.
But understand, no, Gerald Green hung around a long time. He played in Minnesota, he played in Phoenix, he played in Jersey, he played
dunking on people everywhere.
Dunking on people everywhere. He played in Boston. He played here. He played. Gerald Green
been around for a minute.
Like, look, and then to be able to
Beasley, I feel like got the short end of the stick though.
Yeah. But in-game dunker, like I said, but for no Vince. But then you got to think about the dunk contest alone. Stevie in-game dunks was nasty.
Yeah, but he ain't had a minute. Because if you're gonna throw Stevie in there, I'd throw Barron on top of Stevie.
Oh, now Baron Davis in-game dunking,
Yeah.
homeboy.
That's what I'm talking about. So
AK-47 dunk
in game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In game.
That dunk on Andre Kirilenko.
Yeah.
KJ in-game dunk on Hakeem was probably one of the greatest in history.
But that's one.
That's one dunk.
That's still one of the greatest dunks in history on somebody. In-game
So
dunks.
we'll get one
who do y'all
who
think
dunks
about
in history. I'm talking about who did it consistently.
Who do y'all think about? And this may be a tribute to like Chris Paul, but Blake Griffin.
That's why I say he in
Blake
there.
Griffin got a lot of dunks.
He in there. He be on here.
He was the first one that was just jumping, throwing. He wasn't even dunking on ball. He would just jump Space Jam.
Remember Vince Carter's rookie year? Everything looked like NBA Live. Dunk contest dunk, yo.
No cap.
I mean, and Vince dunked on 4 people at one time. I think he jumped over somebody in the game.
He had a game winner on the Rockets.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. My dark horse on this list is Jason Richardson.
Oh, okay.
Jason Richardson.
I gotta give Kemp some love. Shout out to Shawn Kemp, for real.
It's just the Cleveland stint messed me up, man. When he got to be, he looked like James the Grim Reaper. Who was Cleveland?
Hold up. How we leave?
Wayans, man. He didn't look well in Cleveland, man.
Time out. How we leave 2 people off the list?
Who?
Shaq and Kobe.
Because we don't. I mean, Shaq
was pulling bad boys down. And remember his rookie year in Orlando? He was dunking on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, but we just kind of.
We're talking in-game dunks too.
But I mean, that's easy. That's kind of. I mean, you say Shaq, man. It's like
it's cheating. Huh?
Best in-game dunk anybody played, Pat, man. Best game.
I mean,
dunk on Pat.
I mean, Shaq is a big man, so we expect that. But I mean, you're right, Cole. It's nasty. It's nasty.
Yeah, but Kobe definitely.
Yeah, you could put Kobe in there. That's why I say Kobe, J. Rich
had some nasty in-game dunks. That Derrick Rose had some crazy in-game dunks. Boy.
You could throw Russ in there too.
Ricky Davis, Brody.
My man down there used to have the black lips in Orlando. Terrence Ross
got bounce like that.
J.R. Richard in Orlando.
T-Mac.
Oh my God.
What's the kid's name, man? I just said his name and then just forgot it. Man. He wasn't that memorable. Don't worry about it. Poor guy.
You said Ricky Davis too, right?
Yeah, Ricky Davis used to have him.
I think on this list, man, I got to go with Vince.
Yeah, just when you talk about throughout the body, because he didn't develop the 3 till later.
I say Vince and 80s Jordan.
Yeah, 80s Jordan was nice.
When Jordan first got in the league, 80s Jordan
was nice.
Not 90s Jordan, 80s Jordan. Dunk contest Jordan. Nice. When Jordan first got in the league, didn't have no jumper, just straight high flying. Jumpman Jordan. Jumpman Jordan. All right. With that being said, let's do 2 more. Let's get up out of here, man. Let's get up out of here. All right. Who you taking on your team, Cole? Marbury or Baron Davis?
taking Baron Davis.
What? The New York guy?
I'm taking Baron Davis, yo.
Why?
Baron is a better athlete. Even though Steph was a super athlete himself, I think Baron was a little bit better, and I think he's a little bit more skilled. I think he had a better handle than Marbury.
Ooh.
Marbury had a controlled handle.
Ooh.
Baron had a finesse and controlled handle.
No, Marbury kind of had and one handle. Marbury had a nasty handle.
He had that little that move. That's what he had. But Baron had the razzle dazzle.
You think you being a little hard on Marbury because you biased?
I'm not saying that Baron is that much. I'm
Yeah.
not saying Baron is that much better than him. They about equal. I just think that Baron offered a little bit more. Baron was more of a winner. To be honest.
Yes. Statistically, I think Baron got him, and just in terms of what he's bringing, you know what I'm saying. You have to kind of scheme around Marbury's shortcomings. You have a bigger point guard, take advantage of Starbury a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But think about Starbury, Minnesota.
Yeah, KG Starbury.
Yeah,
that was nasty. They had a lot going on. That was
a lot going on.
That was one of the worst decisions I've
break
ever
up.
seen somebody make. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That was really all they were missing. You know.
What you think, Baron or Starbury?
I'd take BD because that was BD after the knee injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
BD might have blown his knee out before he got to the league and still came in crazy. Might not even started dunking on boy till year 7, year 8. You know what I'm saying?
With the Warriors.
I'll tell you what, man. Them Charlotte years.
Yeah, New Orleans was crazy. Yeah, Charlotte was
Charlotte,
crazy. Oh, the
yeah.
Charlotte
It was
Hornets.
Charlotte.
You're right.
Yeah, he was dunking on everybody. That's what he dunked on KG in Charlotte.
Yeah, I saw that, but look,
I think
that
we
ball
sleep on-
bounced all off his head.
Yeah.
Yes, it was nasty.
Yeah,
It boy
yeah,
changed his
yeah.
mind quick.
Yeah,
That and then I'm telling you, resurgence when he got Andre Karolinko
yeah.
in
The Golden State run.
yeah.
We believe run.
Man,
Yeah, with Captain
with
Jack and
Stack,
all them.
yeah.
Yeah. I go with BD, man. I ain't no hate on Starbury. Starbury went and played overseas, whereas BD stayed in the league. All right, rank them in their prime. Who's the best out of Iverson in his prime? Kyrie Irving, D Rose, Russell Westbrook. Start with you, Rose.
That's extremely tough because was Derrick Rose arguably at his peak in the MVP year? Or because that was so early, one we still never know. I mean,
Well, that's all we got to work with. You're right. We never
with
know
the sample size.
Yeah,
of
that's
what
all
was
we
going
got to
on.
work with.
No injuries at their peak.
Yeah.
I have to go with Derrick Rose. That was an MVP year. He got the MVP that season.
Ooh.
He got the MVP
in
that
his
season.
prime. You think he better than all of them?
If we're gonna call that his prime, absolutely. He put together one particular season that none of these boys can particularly match because none of them got the ring. That's what makes it easy.
Argument, man. I'm trying to argue that. I want to argue that.
Yo,
None of them got a ring.
I had to disagree, man. I don't think anyone on that list is better than AI, yo.
Yeah, I'm with Cole. I'm looking at Iverson. I'm like, hey, fam.
I'm looking at the wrong list. Wait.
Hey, Iverson.
So Iverson, Kyrie Irving, D Rose, Westbrook.
What Kyrie Irving got some injuries?
Nah, we saying rank them in their prime.
I'm looking at the wrong thing down the way. My fault. Okay.
Nah, we not talking about them. We
My
talking
fault.
about
I'm on the wrong list, fam. I apologize.
Yeah. No, we saying rank them in their prime. AI, Kyrie Irving, D Rose, Russell Westbrook. Hey, y'all saying Iverson?
No, I got to take Kyrie in his prime, bro. Kyrie at his prime was
What was his prime though? Was it Cleveland, Brooklyn?
Cleveland when he bailed him out.
Championship Cleveland.
Yeah,
with LeBron.
championship Cleveland when they came and pulled it out over that 73-9 Golden State team.
Cooking stuff.
That particular version of Kyrie was unbeatable, and it led to the championship. So it's like none of them can say that. None of them can say that. None of them can say that.
The only one this was
As nasty
The championship because of LeBron, yo.
But he was there with LeBron. But you say none of them.
LeBron wouldn't have got that shit without
Ask him his
Kyrie.
record without LeBron, though. Ask him how many losing seasons he had in Cleveland
Got a
in his
point.
prime.
But he's a great complimentary piece.
Yeah.
You
Ask
gotta
him when he
understand
was
what
in
kind of
Boston with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, he was still a bum.
So you saying it ain't no comparison? It's Kyrie.
I think it's Kyrie. In terms of his prime, if
Yeah.
you don't call that his particular prime, because you can't call like Boston
Nah.
Kyrie prime or any of these other
No
Kyrie
Brooklyn.
prime.
You don't think Brooklyn was his
That's
prime?
where we saw the greatest out of Kyrie
Was
that
that Cleveland
particular
run.
year. Because we saw a damn good version with Luka just recently.
Yeah.
But it wasn't prime Kyrie. You know,
Iverson
prime Kyrie
went
got a
over-
championship that year. None of these other guys can say that.
Iverson went all the way to the finals with Aaron McKee,
Yeah.
Eric
Eric-
Snow.
Eric
It
Snow.
should be Eric Slow and freaking Mutombo with no offense that broke your hook shot.
I
God
love
rest his soul and everything.
I love the answer. However, the East was watery. The East was watery as fuck. I promise. The LA
I
feasted.
don't know. I got it because he had to go through Ray Allen.
Where? In Boston?
No, when
Ray Allen in Milwaukee with big ball.
they had some wars, and Vince was coming up. That's when Vince was in.
I don't like
that's
it, but
when
it still,
Vince was coming. That's when Vince was at the height of his powers. Was in Toronto.
Tell you.
And AI had to go through all of that
Out
at
west,
6 foot.
it's just it's a polar shift in terms of just the conferences, because it's like just that some kind of way that East Coast was just grimy, gritty. It was when the Knicks were in the toilet, you know what I'm saying, playing tough shit with Allen Houston and Spreewell and all these gutter ass scrappy teams and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like all that was going on the East Coast. It was real watery. Indiana was kind of watery. They were messing around with Al Harrington and you know, I mean, and I'm not knocking these guys. I'm just telling you this is all from what I witnessed. I witnessed these, you know, but nah, man. It's like
If you would have put Kyrie on that team, he wouldn't have beat any of those teams, Joe.
maybe not, but he did. He got him a championship, and
So
I
you
can't
go
say
with
that.
the championship.
LeBron got them.
Separates everybody
in terms of your prime, because it's
These
like
people on the list, it do separate them.
Yeah,
because it's like arguably was AI's prime that one season they went to the final and lost, or was it he had a whole lot of brilliance before that?
Yeah.
Did AI get an MVP before that?
that was the year he got it.
He got the MVP
that
that
year when they played the Lakers.
See, and I had to.
He lost to Kobe and Shaq.
The problem with AI, and it's no shame in that at all, except for the fact that he got in the real Jordan-esque way when it's like, say, my nigga, you jacking. You we understand you're not playing point and you a small two out here. You know what I'm saying? Understand this. I respect that. I love that. But you're gunning from a disadvantage. You're putting us at a disadvantage while the jacking, my guy. You know, this ain't and one mixtape. This is we're not at the record.
Because
I think it was the season when AI scored like 9 straight 40-point games.
No, and I don't take that away. But this boy shot 68 shots. He took 68 shots, man.
But let's just say he does that. How many players even have that energy to do that, to shoot all them shots and still play defense and lead the league in steals and still take his team to the finals?
I like it
at the highest level against Shaq and Kobe.
I like it, but they ain't getting no burn out there in Philly with Dr. J, man. I'm telling you, the best thing in Philly outside of Rocky was them Eagles, them Phillies. I don't know, man. Them 76ers, that's some 80s shit. You know, that's Moses Malone, and I mean they've been through some rough shit. They Clarence Weatherspoon and Derek Coleman and washed up. You know, Derek Coleman, one of my favorite foes. You know what I'm saying? But he was washed up. You know what I'm saying? Philly roached up on a whole lot of washed up shit from what I see out there, man. You know, they got the deal going on with the process, man. And I don't mean to be just going hard on them, man. Must shout out to Bricks, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Philly, man. Shout out to the, you know.
Why he named Clarence Weatherspoon, man?
I just remember him being bad and being undersized.
So let me throw this in there, right? I'm looking at the list again, and we talking about players in their prime.
Yeah.
So with
Brody got a hell of a season too.
In his prime averaged a triple double.
And nobody's saying that. Y'all
I'm saying it right now.
Iverson. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm looking at Brody.
Right. I'm like,
he's the
y'all
only
forgetting.
one averaged the triple double.
Y'all forgetting how good Brody was. I could get with you
MVP season, multiple MVPs.
I could get with you as a separator as the championship. I can understand that.
Because see, him and Rose don't separate from Allen Iverson and D Rose with that MVP year. It was the best thing about that year. You came up short, you know what I'm saying?
But Russell did that too. That year he averaged a triple double. He was MVP.
Yeah. That really?
Yeah.
He got 3. He got
had MVP too. They all had MVPs, but Irvin.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Bud Irvin?
Bud Irvin.
It cost that chip, baby. I'm about that jewelry. I don't give a damn. I want the trophy and some jewelry. And if you ball your ass off in the final, he might have got finals MVP or something close. And I want to fuck with MVP. He might not. He might not. You're right.
So, Cole, what is your argument with Iverson versus Westbrook?
I think that
Because Westbrook Chuck got a big point.
Brody give you way more.
I understand the triple doubles and stuff, but I think people feel.
His historic season was a triple double as a point guard, MVP. And is that considered his prime? We got to consider that his prime, right?
I think people forgetting
that hard to this day. You know,
I think people forgetting who Allen Iverson was, yo.
No, I get it.
And what he's done and how he's won games single-handedly.
Well, look, I rock with guys since like Page and Jerome Williams and Othello Harrington them at Georgetown. I rock with AI. I understand what I'm saying.
No matter how you game plan them, he came through. And he's only, 6'1", if that? Yeah. And he found a way to be the leading scorer of the NBA for multiple seasons. You can't... You can't make this stuff up in a movie. Like this dude,
right? It's like I didn't like the movie Rudy. I don't like the underdog. You feel me? I can't really appreciate that when I'm rocking with the dark side, man.
But you also got to think about he lived up to everything. He went to college, lived up to that. Came to the NBA.
He also sat at the press conference and talked about practice. Nigga, we talking practice. It's like I can't have that nigga teaching my child nothing. I respect it because I was grown and I witnessed it. And you just from the climate and time we came up with, we experienced Georgetown, we experienced the Fab Five, we experienced at a high level, so we could see through, and we hoop, so we could see through the fallacy and the flaw in that comment. It's damn near like the Barkley soundbite. We like, ain't no role model. Like, nigga, come on, you're on TV, you're a role model. Shut your stupid ass up. Eat a sandwich, nigga. Chill. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, with AI. You know, and I was an AI fan. You feel me? I was the first one with them blue answers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Forever in the Kick Hall of Fame, the first pair of Reebok answers that came out, like from a style, from a culture standpoint. Yeah, it was everything. Exactly. It's a move just recently was replicated that AI did back with Jadakiss on the commercial.
Yeah. So you think Kyrie Irving was better than Iverson in his prime?
Yeah. It equated to a championship. I'm not gonna say better, but it's like if you took them, locked them in a room, and had them play one another, Kyrie wouldn't get hold all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like they would go at each other. Like I might win the majority of the games.
Some people think Kyrie would win.
At most, exactly.
Yeah. Kyrie could probably be a better defender than AI.
Yeah. He doesn't have the same shortcoming. Yeah, he doesn't have the same shortcoming.
Kyrie nice, but his prime. His career's been so sketchy with so many injuries, yo. Like
it's true. That's true.
I'll take you put him in his prime. I'll take Gilbert Arenas in his prime over Kyrie.
But you're right, because Kyrie is a head case, and Gil has a prime that is debatably like we can appreciate that statement because it's Gil in his prime.
Man, y'all gonna throw Gil in there. I'll throw Houston T-Mac in there.
Yeah,
if y'all want
that too, but that's not but we talking about
even prime. Like I'd say prime prime T-Mac was definitely Orlando at some point. At some point during Orlando when he still had to bounce.
Scoring titles.
Yeah. So he still had to bounce, so it's like
still had knees.
Because prime is so subjective and debatable. I just got to go with Irving because the ultimate outcome of Irving's prime, quote unquote, because it might not even been his prime, but he sure put up numbers in that final, in that championship game.
I think that any one of the players that we just named would have won a chip with LeBron.
No,
that's debatable.
No, because Brody did not. We already got that established. Brody did not.
LeBron. But that's an old Brody.
Yeah, you can't.
Hey, Brody still play hard. Brody is valuable.
But
Brody got value.
You know that wasn't gonna work in LA though.
It could have. It just brought Brody off the bench. You know what I'm saying? You let Brody run with anybody's 6th to 9th niggas on
Brody
the bench.
Can't shoot,
Brody cooking up. He can't, but he cooking them niggas just out of effort, knowledge base, and attitude alone. He get out there and punk half them niggas just by playing hard and talking shit. And then it's like,
so you're using the championship as the divider.
It's got to be because everybody else had one individual standout season. At least you kind of Iverson has multiple. Even
if we talk about championships as divided, then I'm taking Chauncey Billups over Kyrie Irving, yo.
You like big shot?
Straight up, yeah. I think Kyrie Irving's good, but like he has a separate. Like for me to watch him lose so many times in Cleveland and lose so many times in Boston and lose so many times in Brooklyn and play with every star in the NBA and not do anything but that one championship with LeBron that anyone would have won with LeBron because LeBron went to probably 15 straight finals or something like that.
Yeah.
Nah, yo, I can't.
He was out there poaching in the powder, poultry, East. It was the East. I'm telling you, it was like y'all had some major battles, but like Miami back then.
Right.
But it was like that was all that would be going on all year, and then y'all be disappointed. Shit look like the Jets.
So Cole, I don't mean to cut you off. So you saying LeBron's prime was Miami? It wasn't that Cleveland team when he went back?
LeBron's prime is probably the first 15 years of his career. Like
you're right.
Honestly,
the prime
after he missed that first year in Cleveland, after that, his prime started. Like you weren't seeing the stuff that he did against Detroit Pistons in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He did run the East for a while.
Breakout season.
Right. We got to come back to that debate. That's because
he laid that Boston team to rest by himself.
Yeah,
Boston and that Detroit
I was about to say
team.
even fighting against that Detroit he ended an era.
How many did those end up in chips though?
That's true.
I forget because it was.
But the West was so.
He was the Buffalo Bills of the NBA. How many times?
You're right. And it was
to the finals every year.
It was like Delonte West might bagged his mama or something crazy in the playoffs. That nigga didn't show up like the next week. It was very odd. Like LeBron full of drama.
I ask y'all a question. If you could never win a championship but go to the finals 15, 20 times, which one you going to choose?
Wait, never win.
Finals 15,
never win. You said never win or
go to the finals 15 times or win a championship.
I want to win.
I got to win a championship.
I want to win one time.
I got to win a championship.
Fluke or not. I want to be questions, asterisks. I don't give a fuck.
Shout out to Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Giannis. Shout out to them who just was grinding it.
One hit one out the mud.
To your point, Cole, like, and I hate to say this, man, but like NFL, Trent Dilfer, he gonna get credit over Jim Kelly. Mm-hmm. Jim Kelly, as great as he was, never won chip.
I have for him to trade that jacket. For that one ring. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? They'll trade a jacket for a ring. Said they'll trade Mercury Morris and a couple of boys drug suspensions for that one run, that Miami Dolphins run on that undefeated team. Understand?
Oh man,
that championship is everything. Bro.
It is, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe, man. Let's get up out of here.
So before you jump into your shout outs, let me run the sponsors.
Okay, all right, cool. Mercury Morris.
Yo, rep the movement with Mo Serious Fashions. Copy a fresh snapback or hoodie or a tee. All representing the Mo City Podcast, Debate with Bake, or Gloves Up, Guns Down. Everything is custom made with love from our top-notch manufacturers. We got a dope range of colors and sizes to fit your vibe. Everything from blue, red, green, black, white, and more. Rep the Mo and keep it fresh, fam. Hit up moseries.com/merchandise and order today. Let's go.
Stop. It's COVID, flu, and RSV season. Boost your immune system now.
Fortress was developed to provide key ingredients that provide such aid to the body's immune mechanisms.
So how do I fight COVID, the flu, and RSV?
So our job isn't to defend ourselves from things, it's to help support our body's natural immune system to begin with. And when you look at Fortress, that's exactly what we're after. Individually sourced ingredients that have been demonstrated to support our natural immune system and help our bodies just do a good job at what they're naturally meant to do. And that's why Fortress is a very nice combination of these independently sourced ingredients that can help support a healthy immune system.
Learn more about Fortress and natural ways to boost your immune system by clicking the link.
Men's Fragrance, your home for 100% authentic men's cologne. We carry high-end fragrances like Creed, YSL, Gucci, Polo, and more with below retail prices. All orders come with free shipping. Order online at mens-fragrance.net. Men's Fragrance. Smell good for less.
All right, shout out to the sponsors, man. To everybody, go check us out. You can see that on moserious.com, or you can also rewind in this episode and other episodes of DVD Debate with Bake podcast. give out our shout outs, man, and then we'll get out of here. We had another fire show, man. I want to give a shout out to Demetria Bivol, who has beaten now 2 reigning undisputed champions and beat Canelo Alvarez, and now he has beaten Arthur Beterbiev to be the 170-pound undisputed champion. Bivol is up there, man. You cannot take nothing away from him. I think he's truly a Hall of Famer now. Shout out to Bivol. I also want to give a shout out to Serena Williams, who is joining the ownership group for the Toronto Tempo, the newest WNBA expansion team. She had just announced this on social media today, so shout out to Serena Williams for. She's not on. That's right. Yeah, I think she's also a minority owner of the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. So shout out to her and her sister, man, the Williams sisters, for spreading their wings, man. They owning stuff, man. So those are my shout outs, fellas. Go this time if y'all want to give some, man. If y'all got any shout outs, go ahead.
Your boy KD trying to bring one to Austin.
Okay, that's right. A team to
Austin. NBA team.
I did hear about that. Yeah. Period.
Oh, I sure wanted to cut KD off that team. On that, I was trying to figure out who else had to go. Anyway, shout out to KD, man. I'll take it easy, baby. It's all love, baby.
Yeah. Cole, you got any shout outs?
Shout out to freaking Boston. Shout out to Cleveland. And shout out to those teams that are winning now, because when the playoffs start, New York is coming back, man.
I knew he was going to come, man. Shout out to my man forever being a New York Knicks fan. Forever.
Right.
Shout out to everybody who participated with us. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to Chuck, the hardest working man in the podcasting business. Shout out to the whole Most Serious family. Let's keep rolling. Here we are in the spring, getting ready for the NCAA tournament, getting ready for the NBA playoffs, and getting ready for the WNBA season. Shout out to everybody who watched us tonight on Debate with Bake podcast, and we'll keep moving. And that'll be it. We out and about later on. Shout out DWB.
Debate with Bake. Season 4. Let's go. Here we go, Debate with Bake Sports Show. Season 4, live at Mo City Radio. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We just giving opinions, supporting it with proof. Let's look at the stats, cause numbers tell the truth. It ain't no hating, we just debating, interviewing guests so we can learn how they operating. Shout out to PRIZEPICKS for the daily fantasy. Invest a few dollars, let's do some gambling. C-Bake got the topics, and he keep it cracking. Laro got the commentary, and he never lacking. Cole with the game, he live from the Big Apple. You know, Most Serious Entertainment made it happen. Another sports show, we live from the Mo. Debate with Bake, Season 4, let's go.